What else have the nation been talking about?
Is it the oil strike?
Petrol.
Is oil and petrol the same thing? I don't know. Because you put petrol in one place and oil in another in a car. They're not the same thing.
Oil.
They say we're running out of oil.
But petrol's fine, you think?
Well, are they the same thing? I don't know.
Sorry, so you think we're running out of oil, but there's loads of petrol left?
No, but people say oil and they mean petrol.
Well, calm down. Sorry, if people are watching this at home, don't worry about the fuel crisis, because we've got loads of petrol.
No, is it the same thing?
Yes!
Just to clear it up, there is a fuel tankers strike, and all the papers said don't panic, which meant everybody's panicked.
Can you stockpile petrol? I don't know.
Can you stockpile it?
Yeah,
You
can you
really fill your car up to your
I don't
chest.
know.
You actually fill the whole car up, so you're driving like you're underwater. Everything's going up. Food's going up. Everything's going up.
Children's shoes have increased in price, and I really don't know why, because I buy children's shoes all the time. But they're the same price as adult shoes. A brief history of shoes. We all know that they start off that big, then they grow to that big, and then they get that big, like for adult size, and then if you leave them in a cave in Holland, we all know that they grow bigger and bigger and eventually turn out as cars. Which is why the petrol is so expensive.
Just to point out, Vic's recently had the bends. In a diving accident.
Let's have a look and see if petrol is one of the most talked about things of the week. Yes, it is the most talked about thing this week. Yes, of course, everyone's talking about petrol prices soaring and the threat of a strike. Panic buying at garages is exacerbating the problem. The government want to reassure people supplies of Gingsters and Rizzlers are unaffected.
A naked couple emerging happily from the tent.
This is a word association question. I'm looking for the top word or phrase the public said when we said camping.
David Williams.
You.
Are you, Cam?
No. No.
Rain.
Right, I'm going to give you that, because it's the word most associated with camping is wet. Pretty much it. Yeah. Make sure when you go camping, you have a ground sheet and a hammer, so you can dispose of the person who suggested going camping. Least desirable car passenger.
Is it the Pope? Because whatever the weather, you've got to keep the sunroof open because of his hat.
And he's in like a perspex box as well, so you can't... Did you watch Connie last night? Oh, forget it.
Right, who would you hate to be stuck in a car with?
A rapist.
I reckon Stephen Hawking would be bad, because you wouldn't know it was him talking or the sat-nav.
It's to do with... It's someone that's annoyed a lot of people that drive cars.
A bear. Alistair Darling.
Correct. John's team, you ought to go first. What do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
Well, one of the things that's affecting my world is all the sadness of all the high street shops closing. So I think that's probably one of the things. So Habitat going and Thornton's going and Jane Norman and all these shops, and it's very depressing. It's sad. And I used to work at Habitat.
You used to work at Habitat?
I used to sell sofas at Habitat.
Did you?
Not very well, clearly.
It's gone downhill because I left. So all these shops are closing down, and it's very sad, other than the bitch that used to be my manager at Habitat who's now been sacked. Yes! Look at me now.
What if she's fat?
Sorry?
What if she's fat? And then you said, oh, look at me now, you should need to go and help her.
I think I'm a stylist, not a magician. She was a
Oh, no, you're done!
You come on 8 out of 10 cuts just to slam an unemployed pensioner.
Good on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, by the way, if you're watching... I'm going to kill your cats.
What are you doing? What is it? Oh, like,
Stop steak.
haters.
3 clicks.
You do that one?
You look a little bit special at the best of times. Let's get back to the high street. So the other ones have gone out of business. So Thornton's have gone out of business. Habitat have gone, as we said. Comet have gone. Carpet-Right have gone. So Carpet-Right are actually going to have a closing down sale because they've cried wolf quite a few times with the "we're having a sale." No, really, this is a good sale. But this time they mean it.
Carpet-Right's one of those things. You just can't sell carpet because your brain just can't cope with seeing carpet like on the wall and in a book.
They should have carpet shoes, shouldn't they? So it's like a shoe. Put your foot into a piece of carpet and it fits like a shoe. Then you walk around. You look down. You go, "That's what it would look like," wouldn't it? What do you think about that idea, Carpet-Right? Is it too late?
Do you do much shopping on the high street?
Well, I don't shop in Thornton's because I don't eat chocolate. So
doesn't matter, that's gone.
don't really.
It's 140 shops and 20,000 jobs, but yeah, don't worry about that. I don't think that one matters as much because you're not affected.
No, I used to love Jane Norman. I can't believe that's closing down.
Jane Norman, I couldn't get my tits in those clothes, so I'm quite glad it's shutting.
You've got a high street shop, haven't you, Amy?
My friend does. But she's on the show, The Only Way is Essex.
The Only Way is Essex?
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that, actually. It's not the only way, there's a better way. But you own a tallying salon, don't you?
I do vajazzles. Basically, for the show, I do vajazzles, and they come in and tell me all their life stories. Why don't you come down? Why don't you have a vajazzle?
Why don't I come down? Because
No,
I don't have a
actually.
vagina. Is it called a pejazzle when a boy has it? This is when you put the... Oh, surely you should call it glitter balls.
I don't do that.
What's a vajazzle?
They take a twinkle cave...
Twinkle cave.
And they decorate around the top of the twinkle cave with a few little shiny things, Sean. It's delightful.
And it's called vajazzle.
What? No, I don't understand. They decorate it.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Why?
You know, because sometimes when you look at one, you go, oh, it's a bit dull, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you see what you can do? You can do them at home. I'm sure yours are much better, but you can do it at home where you just put a bit of, like, Pritt stick on. A bit of glitter on, but you always have to do it over, like, a bit of newspaper so you can get back into the thing, because it's expensive.
Could you do it with, like, could you use dried pasta and stuff and lentils as well?
Let's have a look and see what the high street is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the news that several high street stores face closure. Clinton Cards is in trouble, so I popped into Hallmark to get them a sorry you're closing card.
Harry Potter.
Ooh, are you excited about it?
Well, my youngest son is. I mean, I'm excited for him, but yeah, I mean, it's nice, good, clean fun, right?
You say it's clean, but there's a raunchy kiss.
Apparently so, yeah. Apparently.
Emma Watson says this is the most anticipated kiss in history, which is bullshit.
But it's such a huge obsession for people. I mean, I took my youngest son, we went to Universal Studios, and you can kind of get your head around it when it's like an 11-year-old wanting to wear the, you know, Hogwarts cape and the tie and buying the wand and getting on the ride with all the gear. I mean, it's a bit weird, but, you know, you've got grown-up people. I mean, there's a certain type of person that goes to theme parks as a grown-up on their own, I think. There's these adults in all the gear, and they're screaming and shouting on the right, because you sit on a bank of, like, 4, one extra than this, and they're, you know, these grown-ups are going, yeah, man, whoa, let's go, come on, Harry, and you're looking at these people thinking, why? I mean, it's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's a real come down for the actors, though, isn't it? Because their lives aren't going to be as glamorous, you know, because the special effects in Panto aren't that great. They're going, Daniel, when you fly, Big Dave's going to pull on the rope. And you have to make the whooshing noise yourself. OK, so Big Dave... He's going to spend that 48 million, and in 20 years' time, he's with the Chuckle Brothers and Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe Radcliffe was asked what advice he would give to his younger self, and he said, "Don't try too hard to be something you're not," which is the essence of acting.
If I could go back and talk to my younger self, I'd say, don't worry about anything. In the future, you invent a time machine.
It is bad news for British industry, because one of the things you have to credit J.K. Rowling with, she insisted the films be made in this country. So all those films, largely, British crew worked on them, British production houses.
Well, maybe she should write another. She should string it out a bit. That would be a good
Well, no,
thing.
she didn't.
Well,
you know it's not. You know she didn't write it, don't you? You know that, don't you?
Is it?
It's a biography. She met this guy called Harry Potter. He was working in a coffee shop, and she just basically she wrote down his life story.
Is it really a true?
Yeah, it's true story. Even the bit at the end. Even the bit at the end.
The bit with the thing with the guy.
Yeah, you know how he dies from the eats the peanut. It turns out all along he had a peanut allergy.
Let's have a look and see whether Harry Potter is one of the most talked about things this week. Best way to mend a broken heart.
Kill again.
What you do is you can take your passport, go to the airport, you get on the first flight, you arrive in Leeds, you phone up and you go, "Ha! I'm in Leeds! Yeah! Dream on, baby." You start again. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere.
Best way to mend a broken heart.
Eat cholesterol-lowering foods.
No.
It's a practical survival guide.
Is it eat trifle with your hands?
Can I ask, in all seriousness, have you eaten trifle with your hands?
Yeah.
How is it better than with cutlery?
There wasn't any cutlery. It wasn't by choice, John.
How is there trifle and not cutlery? What world do you live
They'd got one, and I couldn't wait till I got in. I got the most of it in.
There must be a point when you've kind of had enough and you're just covered in trifle and you've got half a trifle left. You think, "Oh no."
In the old days, someone to get over a broken heart would join the Foreign Legion to forget.
Yes.
And I split up with someone once. I wasn't that fussed, so I just became a community support officer. To forget, Brian.
I'll give you a clue. You were quite close with the going to Leeds thing.
Find yourself, like, gap year, travelling, backpacking.
I'll give you that. Near enough, yes. What are the biggest scandals?
I'm thinking, only because I've recently discovered this thing, maybe Tiger Woods.
The National Enquirer reported that he had 120 affairs. And he's Tiger Woods. Like, if you're Tiger Woods, you maybe get away with one. I don't even get naked in hotels, just in case there's, like, cameras in the walls or thing. I just keep my
You
pants
might catch
on.
a glimpse of yourself.
I never understood, because it all came out when they released the message of him phoning the woman saying, "Hey, it's Tiger here, can you take..." Sometimes my impressions can be very powerful.
Honestly, I don't condone what he did or anything like that, but he is playing the most boring game on earth all day, all the time, in every single country. Of course he's going to find something to occupy him. He obviously finds it boring.
Yeah, but he...
No one thinks a golfer's going to be a slut, really, do you? You don't look
Yeah.
at a golfer and think, "Oh, I bet he's good in bed." No, they're all fat and bold and, like, swing and get it. No one would ever expect
Sorry, do you play
it.
professionally? You look
Thank you.
pretty awesome.
But I've never played...
I mean, you should think about turning pro. That's a rather swing. Well, surprisingly, it's not up there. There was a huge scandal when it was revealed Tiger Woods had had a series of extramarital affairs. I don't know, when you're married to a swimwear model and you're cheating on her with a lingerie model, you know something's gone terribly right. Top way Brits break the law.
I sometimes do something that's a bit naughty. I think other people do it as well. What I do is I'll record an episode of The Sopranos and then watch it before The Watershed. swearing in the afternoon. I leave the windows open so school kids can hear them. I feel so bad.
I think the main one is because the British penchant for urinating in public is quite big. I was on a tube train the other day.
A tube train?
A tube train, and a man had a piss in the corner. And typical British, we were all like... And then he got off at the next stop, and I had to break the silence. I said, thank God he didn't need a shit.
It's so much easier for guys because you can pee wherever you want.
So where's the worst place you've peed?
Okay.
Come on, tell the truth.
Okay, I was drunk in a taxi and I needed to pee really bad, and I peed on the floor of the taxi and then paid him and got out.
Kelly, let me tell you, that's not a crime, that's a website. No, I think it's something to do with traffic, actually. I think it's a car thing. I think it might be using your hazard lights incorrectly, because most people think that they can put the hazard lights on and do anything and just pull up on a double yellow line and get the dry cleaning, or or go drunk driving and you get pulled up there. Do you realise you've got your hazard lights on? Because I'm drunk, officer. Because I had to warn everyone, I'm very drunk. Actually, I would like to have hazard lights on my epaulets. Just go, if I decide to do something wrong, I put hazard lights on and then everyone's warned about it, you know. I'm having a shit on the tube, ladies and gentlemen. Hazard lights on, turn around, and it's fine.
I sometimes, I know I shouldn't admit this, but sometimes I only have 4 a day.
Yeah. You break your own rule.
And then other days I have 80. You don't want to be around then.
Top way Brits break the law. You do it in the car.
Mobile phone driving.
Oh, no, it's not a crime.
Yeah, it is.
I got off.
I saw an ambulance man the other day on his mobile. That's proper attitude, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, nothing about... No, I try to create a bit of work, actually.
Speeding.
That is the right answer. The nation been talking about this week?
Well, that's about it, isn't it? Nothing else going on at the moment.
Maybe Vorderman.
Vorderman's in the
Vorderman's
news.
big news.
Carol Vorderman has said that kids should learn maths compulsorily until they're 18.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. That's like 40 years.
She said they should do it.
No, it's 18 years. Where did you get him from?
She said it's increasingly important to be mathematically literate in the workplace. As if, like, at what point wasn't it? And why would you commission a maths report from someone who is good at maths but unemployed?
Not my fault.
It's a little bit your fault.
I didn't feel like people are actually that bad at maths until
I've
I
seen
saw
some bad stuff, though.
Yeah,
what's the worst maths you've
I
seen?
did a programme with dispatches, and they were looking at this school that had implemented this magical new teaching of maths. And I met an 11-year-old girl that couldn't work out 500 minus 499. This was after a year of their new magical teaching.
500 minus...
499.
Can you hold up your fingers? I'm going to need everyone's fingers. Sorry, audience.
You get how many fingers in one hand?
5.
How many fingers in 10 hands?
Oh,
40.
Yeah, no, what?
Ask him again. Ask him again. What's the question?
Yeah, well, it's not difficult. It's your top's not done up, so it's hard to... Give yourself... Miss, do your top up, and then we can get on with the maths.
Ask me a question with 11 in it. I can tell you that Carol Vorderman's not in our top 3. If Carol Vorderman is so good with figures, why does she always insist on trying to squeeze hers into a dress that's clearly 2 sizes too small? And the award this evening for not laughing at a joke she clearly thought was funny goes to Rachel Riley. Congratulations. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get.
Is it the start of the Premier League season, which starts tomorrow?
Oh, yes, some football. Yeah, there you go. You like your football,
I love
don't
my
you?
football, yeah.
Who do you support?
Man United.
Riot!
I'm a Chelsea fan, so...
I'll say no.
Yeah. We got a new manager. He's brought in some new rules for the players and everything. One of the rules he's brought in is you have to speak English at all times, which I think is a bit unfair. And it's going to be really hard for John Terry, because normally he just points at things and then has sex with it, so...
Are you not a fan of... Because Scottish football, obviously...
That's
still going, isn't it?
Yeah, my local team... not well, but my local team is East Fife. And our star striker is also my bin man. That's how low the league is. He has to have 2 jobs. So it's like, he'll come round in the mornings and be like, you missed that penalty, you dick.
I literally do not know what's going on in football, but every season when it starts, I'm like, this is when I'm going to get into football. And then I last about 20 minutes of one match. And I'm like...
You'll get into it this year, because I think in about 2 weeks, Wayne Rooney's going to look like you. This is the first season we get to see his new hair, and Colleen said he looks much sexier. But so does a fish finger if you draw a pair of tits on it.
Oh, crunchy booby.
Rooney said after the Community Shield, yeah, we were behind, but then we won, because we literally don't know when a game is over. But the problem is they're so thick that you just take it literally. You think, I imagine you don't know when a game is over. I imagine if someone didn't come and get you, you would just run all the time.
Let's see if the new football season is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, indeed. What are the weird, strange things that people are interested in?
Oh.
What do you think?
UFOs. UFOs.
Yes.
I think he's saying UFOs.
UFO. Here we go, straight away.
UFO, well, the unidentified flying object. I've always thought unidentified flying object, as soon as they identify it, then it's just a flying object. And then if it lands, it's just an O. No, you believe in UFOs, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah, I've seen them.
You've seen them? What did you see when you saw them?
Well, I see a UFO, didn't I? I don't know what it was, but it was flying about. It wasn't a helicopter, it wasn't a plane, it was a UFO.
Could have been a kite?
Might have been a kite. I think it's ridiculous to think we're the only things out there, and it's depressing if we are, no? Do you know what I mean? We're the most intelligent things out there.
Well, not you
Not
specifically.
me, specifically.
You walked into that.
Miles, do you believe in aliens?
I'm not sure. I'm just not impressed by the fact that UFOs tend to be saucers. You just think that they evolve in some way. If you think about, the changes that, for instance, the potato peeler has gone through in that time. Sort of imagine things from another planet might have developed their means of getting around a little bit more.
It's the fact that when they get here, they always probe us and have sex with us. Makes me think they probably come all the time, but we're just like Marbella. It's just where they come to get off with you. You want it work for you? Take your probe.
I don't know if that's that weird. I mean, I think I've got little dogs that I bought recently, and we bring them to the vet about once every 3 weeks. And the vet, as soon as he sees my dogs, just goes, "Better put my finger up his bum." It must be a similar kind of thing. Maybe they're just a higher life form. They're trying to look out for us. Going,
You mean take the V off vet and you got ET? Yeah.
If aliens do land, I'd quite like to be the person that greets them off the spaceship.
I think the chances of you being elected to that post.
Well, I'd actually make a very good ambassador for the planet, actually, Jimmy.
What would you say when you met the
Well,
alien?
for a start, I'm polite. I know. I'd lay on a buffet. And my mum's got a car, so if they need driving about, happy to do it.
You do have the look of someone who's been abducted. They usually...
Yeah.
They go for your type.
No one believes us.
Well, that's the thing I was thinking, is if you had been abducted, you can't prove it, can you?
No, I can't.
You can only say you've been abducted.
Danny, you went to America and you properly went in and saw footage of these...
I went and see a geezer called Stan Romanek.
Right.
Who's been abducted since he was a kid. I sound like such a talking about this now.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting stuff.
Listen, and he's been abducted since he was a kid, and he showed me some mad shit. All right.
What did he show you? What did? Because I saw the documentary.
He showed me an alien poking his head through a window.
You can't argue with that.
Honestly, I don't know what to say.
What can you say?
It popped his little nut up over the window. Had a look at him. He screams. He showed me another one with.
But what was the other one?
The other one was in his kitchen. This one, it's got in. And you see its fingers come around the door frame, right long fingers.
Right.
They could come around, and then it's got a massive nut. This one, it's bigger than the other one.
Right. And then what? Did it say anything? Did it have a message?
No, it didn't say all. Just looked at him. And, you know, I'm gonna off home. I think.
Okay, well, let's have a look and see if UFOs are up there. The number one thing. Yes, UFOs. I once found myself surrounded by these strange, misshapen humanoids. I didn't know what to say, so I just said the first thing that popped into my head. Hello, Norwich. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. Tonight, it's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 3 most talked-about stories of the year. John Steen, what do you think the nation will be talking about this year?
It must be the Wimbledon final.
Oh, exciting. No.
No?
Tennis.
What's the matter with tennis?
Well, I'll be dead honest with you. I used to play the third most boring sport known to man. Cricket, only trumped by tennis and Formula 1. Do you not like cricket? It was a means to an end.
I thought it was an incredible thing. A British man won for the first time in 77 years.
And he hasn't won it since, Jimmy. Let's not let him off. This country hasn't had a Wimbledon winner for nearly 6 months now, and I've had enough. The sad thing, it's a boring name, Andy Murray, as well, isn't it? If his name was, like, Dick Gobbler or something, then... At least now in 50 years, when Sue Barker goes, and of course Britain hasn't had a Wimbledon men's champion since Dick Gobbler. Just going to keep hearing Andy Murray all the time.
It was weird that this whole talk about 77 years of wait is over. And actually, when he won, it was like, thought I'd feel better than that. To me, nothing really can trump that dressage gold at the Olympics.
Lorraine, you're Scottish, so presumably
I am
Andy...
well spotted.
Well, you're not like full-on Scottish. You're like
Just a tiny bit.
I can understand what you're saying. You're Scottish light.
Okay.
Now, did it mean a lot to you? That
Oh,
Andy...
absolutely. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I think it's a shame that everybody goes on about him being dour.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's Scottish. I mean, you know.
He spread sunshine everywhere, didn't he?
And remember he cried. Remember he cried when he lost, and then we quite liked him because he cried. No?
No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. I mean, the reason I don't like tennis is because I'm left-handed, and you know you can't play if you're left-handed. So
You can.
you can't play tennis.
You can.
You can't play tennis with your left hand.
Yes, you can. You can do whatever you like.
There's no left-handed tennis players.
There is.
Other than Nadal?
There's loads.
He's all right. That's his greatest trick, is making us think he's using his left hand. if you hit the ball, if you tennis ball, if you've got the right hand, you hit it, it goes that way. But if you've got your left hand, you hit it, it goes behind you. I have to play backwards like that. And someone's shouting me where the ball's coming. That's why I gave up. This is a stupid game. I'm with Freddie on this.
And the worst thing about it is, as well, you go to Wimbledon. I went for 10 minutes once. They put fruit in your drink. Fruit in your drink?
Did you, like, order a pint of John Smith's, and then when you weren't looking, they were shoving strawberries?
But you're a tennis fan, aren't you, Jimmy? You like your tennis?
I love it. I think it's incredible.
Why is tennis incredible?
It's like cricket, but instead of him hitting it and it going 50 yards
I'm
away...
not protecting cricket here. I know it's boring.
Do you like
I've got no... There's no two ways about it.
Given that the exciting bit of cricket is when he hits it, imagine if the guy at the other end hit it straight back.
OK, let's have a look and see if it's up there. Of course it is. Did you know, for example, 80% of all pictures on the internet are of naked women? Who knew? Men knew. 7% of Britons have got in trouble telling lies at work. In my experience, they get particularly upset when they find out you're not actually a doctor and that isn't actually a thermometer. And apparently the human heart creates enough pressure to squirt blood 30 foot. Isn't the type of thing you should write in a Valentine's card. Right, let's get started. OK, fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get. How else has America changed the world?
So fast. The food. The fast food. Quick food, fast food, straight, no messing around. Just
fast.
Straight through, got your food off, gone.
Straight through, I think, describes it aptly.
Yeah.
You live in Los Angeles, don't you, Russell?
I do.
OK, so favourite fast food joint?
I really don't do that much fast food, but I'll go Mexican fast food, if anything. Del Taco, good gas.
It's not only delicious when you eat it, but also afterwards you go, oh. Fragrant.
No smell, just gassy.
Just gassy.
Loud. It's loud. It's like a Mexican coming out of your ass, really, is what it is.
And when it comes out, does it mow your lawn?
Do you eat fast food? You don't look as if you eat fast food. Are you allowed to eat fast food? Does Simon tell you you can't eat it?
No. I'm trying to keep the timber down, you see. Try and keep in good shape.
The timber down?
Yeah, the timber.
Don't say keep the timber down and do that, because people think you're talking about something else. There's a wood connotation to timber. Yeah, baby, trying to keep the timber down. Well, surprisingly, that's not in our top 3. People criticise McDonald's, but if it wasn't for McDonald's, where else would we take a shit in the town centre?
I think what Hollywood has done to a cinema, in one way, has ruined it. It's because all the food people take in, people who never normally litter anywhere, in cinema, they just finish their popcorn, they just go boom, like that. With cans of boom. People just chuck shit everywhere, and the lights come up, and it looks like Dale Farm.
So those were the top ways America changed the world. But other things that didn't quite make our list, America gave us social networking. By the age of 23, computer programmer Mark Zuckerberg had created Facebook. And amazingly, within just 3 short years, he'd lost his virginity. Starting wars. America entered the Second World War 2 years late. Stung by the criticism, it's made sure it got in nice and early with every war since, by starting them. In a fight, I let my fist do the talking. Please don't hurt me.
Another Bond movie?
Yeah!
Another one.
You don't sound excited.
Oh, we've got Homeland now. We don't need Bond anymore.
You've got Homeland, we don't need Bond?
Yeah. Homeland's way better than the Bond
What?
movies.
What are you saying?
I don't know. I went to see one. I went to see Casino Royale because they build it as it's nothing like a Bond film. It's totally different. And it was just another Bond film.
What was a Bond film?
Yeah, I know.
If your issue with a Bond film is, it's just a Bond film.
These ones, they go, it's darker and grittier. You go, oh. It'd be darker if he had to get Ryanair flights everywhere. Beside of Bond kneeling beside the check-in desk, stuffing underwear in his pocket.
Judi Dench for the premiere had 007 in Diamantes on her neck. And not a lot of people know she had a vajazzle. That's how you could hear her coming. She was sort of crunching down the road.
Well, thanks for putting that image in my head. In this one, he drinks Heineken, not martinis. That's the big sort of fuss has been made about the product placement.
There's one scene, though, where he has to punch a woman and he switches to Stella.
Never understood product placement for adults. Like, in children's films, I can understand it, because children just go, oh, I want that on a lunchbox. But, like, are they implying that men are going to go to a pub and think, well, I don't usually drink Heineken, but if I have a pint now, everyone will think I'm James Bond. My tip for a film, if you're making a film and you get a theme tune, get someone to sing the theme tune who can pronounce some of the words that are in the theme tune.
What's your issue with the theme tune?
She cannot speak.
Is this Adele? Lovely Adele. I won't have a word said against her.
Adele, or as I'm sure she says it, Adele. The first 3 times I heard it, I thought it was a song about scaffold. When the scaffold...
I put forward a Bond theme and they didn't go for it.
Well, that's a shame. What was yours?
Bond on a bike, Bond on a boat. Bond with his hands round a villain's throat. Skyfall, Skyfall. Bond on a bike, Bond on a boat. Skyfall, Skyfall. Da-da-da-da-da. Hey!
Is that the best dance routine, do you think, Louis?
Well, that's playing the piano.
I quite like that, and I would have put a head roll at the end.
Well, let's try it again.
Bond on a bike, Bond on a bike, Bond on a man, and round it. Right, then.
We're getting a new labelling system for food. It's basically saying, oh, poor people are stupid. They go into a supermarket and they pick up Haribo Tang Fastics and they think it's fruit. People know what shit food is. The reason they eat shit food is because they work all day in an office with people they hate. They're working in a job that they're told every day they're going to lose, and then they go back to a shitty flat that they can't afford to buy. And do you know what they think? I don't fancy couscous for tea. Do you know what I fancy? A mixing bowl full of Viennetta and chips that I eat with my fist.
John, what happened there was quite a depressing thought, and then at the end you pulled it back with Viennetta and chips and everyone went, oh.
Shit food is the only joy some people get. And it's cheap as well. People don't shop. They don't buy bad food. They buy bad food because it's cheaper. They just go, oh, shitty pie, £1. Lovely. That'll make me feel temporarily less alone. And it doesn't make any... There's a reason they call it a traffic light system. It's because it's the same as traffic lights on the roads. If it's amber or red, you just do it faster and hope no one sees you.
It's confusing because the traffic light thing for me, I only think of them as like, you know, the traffic light parties where green means you're up for it. And I accidentally f***ed a chicken wrap.
I'm not familiar with the traffic light party. And what happens?
You wear a green shirt if you're up for it, amber if you're not sure, and red if you're definitely out.
I've always been a bit of an amber gambler.
Nice. Do you watch the calories? Do you watch what you eat?
No, I just exercise, so I don't get fat. But the thing is now when people go shopping, innit, you're going to be looking in their basket, and if they're full of red and they're fat, you are going to think you're greedy fat And then if they're, you know, if they're sort of going in between, they've got a bit of amber and a bit of green, you're like, well, give them a go. Do you know what I mean? If they're all green, then you know they're gay or in PR.
You cannot imply that only gay people eat vegetables.
No, but we'd have a lot of green.
Have you seen that programme on Channel 4, The Food Hospital?
The Food Hospital?
People that are sick go there and they get cures with different diets and stuff, but it's really good for making you eat healthily or just not eat. Because it's on at like 8 o'clock. So the last couple of times we've been eating and it's on, and they're doing this fibre challenge and they keep showing you different pictures of poo, like while you're trying to eat.
So you're saying your dieting tip is look at pictures of poo
while
you're eating?
It puts you off your food.
I think you want to go with a guy who's got more than one channel on his television. You come round my house, we'll watch the football, we'll stick the Simpsons on, I got DVDs. I've got the whole works. If you don't like watching shit while you eat, well... I'm your man.
I got an iPad, and the slogan should be like a shit computer. Because my computer does everything better than it. So the only possible use for an iPad then would be as a very luxurious chopping board, and then maybe you could have a comedy playing to counteract the Onion crying. Would balance out. Either that, or maybe I'll get 6 of them and tile my hole with them, and then when I go to answer the front door, be like Michael Jackson and Billie Jean.
Rachel, are you going to get one of these?
Well, I had this debate with my husband a little while ago, but I still don't see the point of that, because once you've got one size and the other size, then it doesn't do anything extra, does it? But I'd get his cast off, so whenever he buys the new one, I get the old one, so I might encourage him to get one.
You get the old one once he's finished with it?
Yeah. I'm quite happy
You're
with it.
earning, aren't you? You can...
You know, do I need another one of a different size, or do I want to buy a pair of shoes? It's a bit of a no-brainer.
We're still talking about the iPad or your husband?
Still
if you need a smaller one, I'm willing to step in.
Louis, do you get dressed up on Halloween?
I have.
What was your finest hour?
I think my pussy.
A cat costume? Because, of course, you were in...
I was in Cats, so I have the original magical Mr. Mistopheles, so I slip him on and he's...
You didn't go dressed as a pussy because that's terrifying to you?
I was very surprised by it. It sort of seemed to appear suddenly about 10 years ago, this excitement about Halloween. I grew up, there was no even mention of it. You know,
it was just regular...
There were satanic rituals that we go to, and
well, satanic rituals and then...
animals and the youngest boy child of the village. But we wouldn't call it Halloween in those days. They were very much about our Lord Satan and thanking him for a year of evil. But suddenly, thank you, brethren. I'll see you at the next lodge meeting. I'll be wearing the golden hooves.
How do you deal with trick-or-treaters, then? Do people come to your... Do they come and knock on the door?
They
and
do
get a
come and knock
cheery,
on the
lovely
door.
face?
Yeah, give them sweets, yeah. Give them sweets. The weird thing is, you have a bowl of sweets and some kids just go... and that's when you have to show them bad, Sean.
I like it now that, because you get cream eggs and then they start calling them scream eggs. That means it's time for Halloween. But there's no other ones you can do. I've written to all the chocolate companies. The only one I've come up with is Boost.
Hannibal's just come over from America.
Yeah.
What sort of things do you think we've been talking about?
We've been talking about the Olympics, football or soccer, and your all types of stuff. Yeah. All types of stuff is happening. It's a busy place.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's exciting, isn't it? It's an exciting place.
Not really for me, but I could, like, if you're excited, I'm happy for you.
Well, I'm just But it might be the travel chaos at Heathrow. I don't see why people are complaining so much. You know, they're queuing for 3 hours to get into Britain. People queue for 4 hours to do a ride at a theme park. This is a whole country you're getting into. I mean, imagine what a ride that is. Within 20 minutes of Heathrow, you're in Hammersmith. Woo! Did you have any trouble getting through Heathrow?
Yeah, it took about an hour, and that was the fast track lane, because I travel well. And,
sure.
And it took a while, and I wasn't happy about it, but I listened to some podcasts and some music, and I judged people. And you get to judge people, and the line keeps going around, so you get to judge people 6 times. You find different stuff to judge about them. Like, I didn't even know I hated that about you. You got so many layers.
I wonder whether this chaos has been caused by those new... They've got those new X-ray machines now. They're like body scanners, aren't they? They're basically... They can sort of see what you look like naked. And I wonder if that's holding things up. Should we send another one through, Bob? Give me a minute.
Could be. You can tell you're an actor. You can really tell that trained. Because I'd have just done a very... I mean, it wouldn't have been convincing at all, but... I felt like I was in your bedroom then. I was at a queue at Heathrow, and I think part of the problem is that the passport, the immigration officials, this guy had glasses on, and he needed 2 pairs of glasses, so he'd get your passport, and he'd go, like that. I'll put the reading glasses on, like that. Look at that. And then to look at you, he'd go, hang on a sec, and he'd take them off, and he'd go, and a quick check again, like that. And then he'd go, purpose of visit, hang on a sec, like that. And he was there for about 5 minutes. Just a pair of bifocals. I'd have sailed through.
Well, that's not one of the most talked about things this week, but there's been travel chaos at Heathrow. Because of the queues, terrorists are being urged to delay the timers on their bombs by an extra 3 hours. John Steen, what else do you think the nation will be talking about this week?
Well, I guess the reason that the gentleman to my right is here. I mean, you should still be on The Voice. I think we all know this.
Oh, thank you.
It must have been terrifying.
It was terrifying. Absolutely bloody terrifying.
It's Tom Jones, isn't he?
I know. He's scary. I feel like I can't really remember anything. Just all a bit scary. And then I got kicked out, really. It's the cycle of it.
There was an old man, it was a bit scary, and then you got kicked out. You cried, though, at the end, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That makes for great television.
Oh,
when someone
wow, I know.
cries.
The drama there.
We're hoping to recreate it this evening.
Oh,
See
yeah?
how we do.
I felt sorry for you when you got voted off because, for me, it wasn't your fault because music officially died at the launch of that show when the 4 judges performed Beautiful Day by U2.
I think what you've got to remember, Sam, fame is a bit like a snowman. And by coming on this show, it means your carrot's dropped off. And it started to rain. One of your arms has just slipped down. You've still got the scarf and the little bits of coal in your eyes. So...
No, Sam, you are not the voice. That's okay. You are the moves, you are the quiff, you are the fashion. You can come on the ass. That's a show I'm developing. It's a new show I'm developing, The Ass.
The Ass.
And the judges are Kim Kardashian and J-Lo and Nicki Minaj and Beyonce. And they look at an ass. And then based on that ass, they decide whether they want to hear your talent. And if you don't have one, you're on Kim Kardashian's team. And you can come on the ass. Don't worry, I'll write you in.
Perfect.
Might be time for another one of your mimes.
You're better off out of it because I think since they've got rid of the turning chairs, the show's kind of... it's crap, really. It's pointless without the spinning chairs, isn't it?
It was good with the spinning chairs.
Yeah. They should go up and down whether they like you or not. Like, if Tom likes you, he goes, I think you're bloody great, you are, like that. He goes...
Yeah, but I think if Tom's chair goes up, he's going to think he's going to bed.
Yeah.
Should we have a look and see whether The Voice is one of the most talked about things this week? Yes, indeed. The Voice aims to take total nobodies and make them household names, like Danny from The Script. If you're honest, did you know who Danny was?
Yes, I did.
What's your favourite Script song?
There's so many to choose from.
What's your favourite Script song?
It's so hard, isn't it, to choose your favourite Script song? I mean... there's that one... Joke, joke, show us your cock and I'll give you the Or there's, I'll be up your flue in a minute or two and the news is a hole in the front. That one.
Are they even Scottish?
Oh, God, there's so bloody many of them. Just anthems, really. You can just chart your whole life growing up to a Script
Which
song.
other ones? I mean, those are 2 good ones. Which other?
There's, I'll be up your pipe on a Saturday night. And you're doing a sensation. All those bloody classics. Script.
Not even Scottish. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh, Roy Hodgson has become the England manager.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Huge news.
I think he's a terrible choice. I mean, you look at him. Since he's been manager, we haven't won a single game.
What do you think of Roy Hodgson, Stephen?
I think we've got to give him a chance. I mean, it's typical in this country, isn't it? You know, he speaks 5 languages fluently. He's won 8 major trophies. He's representing this country, and The Sun, because he can't say his R's properly, the headline is "Bwing on the Euros." We'll see you in Ukraine against France. I hope the dick that wrote that gets Wed War hemorrhoids.
The reason I don't like him is, if you notice, he hasn't got any shoulders. He looks like an owl. His shoulders, he's there, he just goes down like that. And he's not going to sit in the technical area at the side of the pitch. He's going to be in a nest on the stadium. Watching the game like that. And every now and again swoop down and get a mouse.
Your problem with him is he's an owl.
He does. You've got a picture of him. But there he is, look. He doesn't, he goes like this. When he talks, he goes like this. And occasionally he just goes... We've got an owl as a manager.
John, what do you make of this guy?
I'd rather him than Harry Redknapp, to be honest.
What?
I really like the image that said, oh, Harry was just sat waiting by his phone. That made me laugh. I tell you, he wasn't. I bet his phone was ringing, because if I was Harry Redknapp's mate, I would have just been doing withheld number calls all day. Hello, Harry, it's the FA here. Sweet FA, see you later, tosser.
16% of bosses have made a decision based on their horoscopes, true or false. What the fuck are you people talking about? 16% of bosses have made a decision based on their horoscopes, true or false?
Well, we think it's true.
You think it's true?
Oh, aye.
What do you think?
We think it's false.
I think it's possible but unlikely.
Thanks for that, Lee. That's really cleared things up.
Really?
I can tell you that the answer is true. Britain's favourite noise.
Is it that honking noise that women's breasts make when you go like that?
That last one was Jordan.
Is it a...
That's the biggest hit I've ever seen. OK, it's not that.
It might be.
It isn't. That's Britain's favourite noise.
How about...
What was that?
That's an albatross shitting on Bill Oddie.
You'd be delighted. Albatrosses are quite rare.
That's right.
And he shat in my face.
Go on, what do you think favourite noise might be? Oh, that is... that. You're so close with that.
Oh. Glug, 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 glug.
Exactly the right answer. Yes, Britain's favourite noise is the glug of wine as it pours into a wine glass. I think that statistic is skewed by the fact that the people most likely to stop and talk to a woman with a clipboard are winos. Next question. Thing most likely to make men cry.
Catching your knob in your zip.
I don't understand how anyone does that. Because normally when I do my trousers up, I've put my penis away. I've had the presence of mind to finish my urination and put the penis away and then do my trousers up. I don't shake it, then go, ah! Oh, I forgot to put my penis away. The thing is, it would be a miracle if I was in a toilet in the first place, if I was that bleeding stupid. I'd probably be standing in the food hall at Harrods pissing on some cheese.
Thing most likely to make men cry, Griff?
It's a little pony with a very long mane getting separated from its mothers and getting lost in the enchanted forest. And then, after a lot of adventures, finally finding its way back to its mother and the rest of the herd. Speaking for the older generation, I would have to say that it's accepting that your daughter's friends simply think of you as her dad.
So you're crying because you can't fuck your daughter's friends? High five, Bill Oddie. Come on. That is perhaps the most honest answer we've ever had on this show.
Great image, isn't it? Just someone going up to Bill Oddie and go, oh, you must be Joanne's dad.
Welcome to Springwatch. I've got some binoculars. I'm in a shed. My daughter's having a sleepover. Should be a hell of a show. OK, thing most likely to make men cry. It's something you do in the kitchen. In the week that Mamma Mia was released, we asked the studio audience, do you think that ABBA should reform? Yes or no?
They've got a new film out, haven't they? Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
That's just
They
come
were
out.
offered £1 billion to reform.
£1 billion?
£1 billion.
A trillion it was. It was a
billion.
multi-trillion.
What I never realised how much taller the guys are than the women. And one of them looks like a hobbit, doesn't he?
She lived with a stalker.
The only fit one.
And I realised it was a stalker. And then
following
she
her
asked
every
him to
room?
leave. And guess what? He was reticent.
Did he actually say that? She said, leave. He went, I'm reticent.
I swear to God, sometimes I watch television, I watch proper documentaries.
Stalker's the perfect person to marry because they're into all the same things you are. You know, they're always there for you.
Duncan, have you had stalkers?
Yeah, they're weird, man.
Yeah, that's stalkers.
They're weird, yeah. It'd be good if they were...
Yeah,
always...
innit? Like, some of them make you feel awkward.
They just don't respect your boundaries. That's the problem. They don't respect your physical boundaries.
All right.
I would say there's enough reforms going on. Everyone's reforming every 5 minutes. I imagine you'll be at it in a few...
No.
No, not at all? Not fancy reforming?
There was a big thing in Heat the other week saying, please get back
What, is he
together.
a Terminator? Is he going to become a puddle and then come back together? I've been in love with a robot.
Yes or no?
No.
No.
What are you going with?
Yes.
I'm going with no.
I'm going to go with Duncan from Blue. No.
I can tell you the answer is no. 66% of our audience don't think ABBA should get back together.
Well done, mate. Good work. Good lad.
If you haven't seen Mamma Mia, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's shit. 78% of people think they're not posh enough to go to the opera. True or false?
Where I live, 78% of people are not posh enough to go in a local spa, so...
I think this is a true stat. A lot of people know they're vermin.
A lot of people...
A lot of people in this country, they look at themselves and they say, do you know what? I'm vermin.
A lot of people know they're vermin.
And I'd say, I can't go to the opera, I am vermin.
Well, I'm vermin and I've been to the opera.
Were you selling chalk ice?
My wife's... I went to see Darren Brown, actually.
Not really opera, though, is it?
He does a big finish, like, but he... No, it's weird, because my mum got called up on stage, and she always thought... She was like, oh, I don't feel posh enough to go to the theatre. And to be fair, you're not, right? But we went anyway, right? And it's like, she got called up on stage by Darren, and he went, right, sleep. Eventually went to sleep. But she had to slap him in the face to do this trick. But she didn't want to slap him in the face, because she's a nice woman. And a bloke at the back of the room just went... Hit him, love! Hit him! Smack him out! And Darren Brown turned round with a second gap. He just went, you do that again, and I'll make you wet the bed for the rest of your life. And I thought, I reckon that night the bloke went home and his wife went, do you want a cup of tea before bed? And he went, do you know what, I'm going to leave it, to be honest.
78% of people think they're not posh enough to go to the opera. Is that true or false? What do you think?
We're going to go false.
We'll go true.
You're going true, you're going false?
False.
I can tell you the answer is... false. Only 24% of people think they're not posh enough to go to the opera.
I told you.
My favourite part of the opera is the libretto. I always have a strawberry one during the interval. Biggest turn-off for women?
Me.
I think, you know, often, you know, men can make a mistake by using... Like, if you go around to a girl's house, you use her toilet, it can spoil things, can't it? Best you do is say you're going to the toilet, but don't use it. And then come out and just go...
What, like you've got really fresh...
I'm just going to... I need to actually go... So you go in there, you don't have one, then you come out, and then later she goes, wow, he's so fragrant.
Yeah.
I was in a bar once, and they were doing speed dating downstairs, and I popped down to the toilet, I had to go through the speed dating thing, and obviously you press the bell, you got 3 minutes, bing, and then you're done, right? And as I was walking past this table, I heard the bloke, he went, yeah, and so anyway, when I got there, they were already dead.
3 minutes.
Ping, and I was like, you've got 3 minutes. Don't tell them about your dead friend's story.
Yeah, so what I do is I slice their beaks off, cut their feet off, and feed them as much until they die.
Bing!
That's farming, really.
Something that a woman would probably see if you went swimming.
Is it having a pair of Speedos, but the S's have come off?
Is it really, like, hairy?
Really hairy?
Really hairy.
Specific area? Hairy back, that's the right answer, yes.
Hairy back.
Yes, the biggest turn-off for women is a hairy back. I was going to shave my back, and then I thought, pluck it. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
The election battle heats up, apparently, because there's no other news. They've gone, there's an election in 6 months, and that's one of the stuff. So even, like, the Lib Dems have had to come up with proper policies, you know, because when you've got no chance of winning, you can basically say what you want, can't you? So for ages, they'd be going, yeah, Jaffa Cakes will be one of your 5 a day, and everyone can have a rope slide to work. You know what I mean?
Who's your money on in the election, Faye?
I'm very much enjoying the idea that the Labour Party of giving voters presents if they vote for them. They've said that they'll give poor people laptops, which is very nice. Is he going to give them Wiis as well, maybe? Some chocolate?
Give everyone a little bit of chocolate.
I'll just give you a little bit of chocolate if you vote for me.
He might empty their bins.
Gordon Brown got a laugh in Parliament this week. He got a laugh. This is the easiest gig you've ever seen, right? He basically said that Huhne and Hewitt, he was going to put them down a salt mine. Yeah, I know. That was the gag, right? He says he's going to put them down a salt mine for what they've done in last week, and it got a laugh. I was like, they're laughing at that shit. They should watch an episode of You've Been Framed. They'll have an heart attack.
Let's have a look and see whether the election is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the nation's been talking about the imminent election. This week, Brown told backbenchers, I'm not our team, I'm one of the team. And remember, Gordon, there's no I in team. Or in your left socket. 21% of parents have used a parenting tip from a TV programme. True or false?
Actually specific parenting shows?
I reckon they have, from Nanny.
Well, there's a few. There was Nanny...
Super Nanny.
There was Super Nanny.
Sit on the step. You know
the naughty step.
The naughty step. I've used that.
So where's your naughty step?
I've got a couple of stairs in the house.
I would imagine you've got
I've got
loads,
a choice
haven't
of
you?
which
Yeah.
one. I've got 5 kids, so I can send them off on different staircases.
My two are, you know, are only 5 months, so they're not really naughty, are they? I mean,
they're twins.
They're twins,
So they're
yeah.
naughty. But do you really think that you could tell your 5-month-old off at this stage? Don't you think it's a bit early to start telling them to sit on the naughty step?
No, I mean, no, just put them on the naughty step. Just lie them like a rocker on the naughty step. One of them does cry more than the other one, right? And than our favourite one. And there's one crying. The other one sometimes does look at me like, she is doing my head right. I'm siding with her a little bit, going, I know, it's mad, isn't it?
I saw a programme the other day and it said you shouldn't lie. You should never lie to your children. Which is an insane thing to say because, you know, things like when they say, like, you know, are there monsters under my bed? Well, you'd say, no, there aren't monsters under my bed. And they say, are there monsters outside? You go, well, they are, but they don't look like monsters. They're ordinary men and women who can do terrible things.
Did you get to stay up late to watch the show this evening? Lovely Uncle Sean's got some stories, hasn't he? 21% of parents have used a parenting tip from a TV programme, true or false? So what are you going to go with, Jason?
I think it's probably right.
Yeah,
True. You're going to go true?
Yeah.
OK, Sean, what are you saying?
Well, I like a bit of fun, a bit of a gambler. They call me the gambler. Come on, ladies, let's roll.
What do we...
Yeah, we'll go the opposite of what they said.
OK.
For a bit of fun.
OK, I can tell you the answer is true.
Oh.
Yes, 21% of parents have used a tip from a TV programme. The best parenting tip I ever got was to test the temperature of the bath using a baby's elbow. OK, Sean Steen, what do you like the look of?
The two fingers, the God, the creation of the universe.
OK, you've chosen God. In a poll to find the most famous person in the world, God came second. Who came top?
The most famous... It's got to be someone unexpected.
No, it has to be someone famous.
And in the world.
Unexpected would be someone not famous.
That'd be good, like Cliff.
Oh, Trevor Collins. Trevor Collins, who's he? Well, I think he works for Autoglass or something.
It'd be awkward at dinner if it's Jesus, wouldn't it? I bet he'd rub it in his face. I'm the most famous dad in your face.
Where's Jesus from again? Where was he born again?
He's local.
Would it be like David Beckham?
No, it's quite low down.
Might it be the Queen?
Might it be the Queen? It might have been the Queen.
Simon Cowell.
Is the right answer.
No.
Yes, I can tell you it's Simon Cowell. So in a poll to find the most famous person in the world, God lost out to Simon Cowell. Another small victory for the Dark Lord in the eternal battle between good and evil.
We're going to, I think, a slightly different route, shall we, Sean?
Yes, go on, Gabby.
Well,
You're
it's
sport,
coming up to the Winter Olympics in Vancouver, and Torvill and Dean, possibly the greatest Winter Olympic moment for Great Britain
And
ever.
also strictly ice dance, whatever that crap is. That's got people interested in ice skating again. They've been showing
They think about it.
Yes.
It's in their head.
They're very lucky. Most ice skaters, you can be the best in the world at ice skating. There's no money in it. You could be the world champion, but in 6 months' time, you'll be going backwards at the NEC in a goofy costume like that guy. There's no money in it at all. And I don't understand why there's no sponsorship. You notice they never have sponsorship on their costumes. And I think it'd be good if they had it on their gusset. You know when they lift them up? And you lift it up, and the gusset just said, like, Subway.
OK, let's see if Torvill and Dean is one of the most memorable sporting events. Yes, incredibly, Torvill and Dean is the nation's most memorable sporting event. It's surprising, but it was watched by 24 million people. I'm not knocking ice dancing. I just think if it's going to be Olympic sport, we should also include ballroom dancing, teabagging and bin finger. Fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to get. OK, Sean.
Is it where Colchester got that draw with
Ronnie
in the Freight Rover Trophy in '83, and there was 60 minutes left on the clock, and they managed to pull one back, and that was fine. They managed to hold on right to the very end of the game. Is it when Mike Tyson he took a bite out of Evander Holyfield's ear? I think that would be top actually, because that was the most shocking thing I've ever seen in
I interviewed Evander Holyfield, and he
Did
said,
you?
yeah, and he said that he had no
So
idea.
what?
He said,
What are you saying?
No, this one.
He said he had no idea that he'd bitten his ear off. Somebody had to tell him. Don't just go over and say he's bitten
So he
your
was
ear.
hitting him. He was going, "Who? He's got an ear in his mouth. This bloke's a nutter."
Did you read that? Like, a bloke paid 30 grand for the ear, for the piece of ear, right?
Oh,
no. It's weird, that, isn't it? He paid 30 grand as, like, sporting memorabilia, and in his thing he said, well, it's only like people collect baseball cards. You're like, yeah, but because they're not human flesh.
And it's not as if you can swap it with someone, can you? Here, I'll swap you that for Gordon Banks' eye. Do you think that's...
John, do you think Paula Radcliffe's turd is in the same museum?
There's loads of stuff of Tyson on YouTube, if you have a little look. And his interviews, he says some proper mental things. Like, at one point, he said, I'm going to eat Lennox Lewis's kids. Yes. Right? What are you on about? And Lennox Lewis just went, no, I've got any kids.
Well, that's not what you say. You know, you're supposed to say stuff in the pre-match, a warm-up to a fight to get people excited, and Muhammad Ali was really good at it. You know, like, I'm going to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm going to eat your kids is what you shout while you're being thrown out of a pub. Come on, here! I'll eat your kids! Where's the station?
Let's have a look and see whether Tyson Holyfield is one of the most memorable sporting moments.